This was our program. We really appreciate, as I mentioned this morning, this is the first time that we have done this conference. We enormously appreciate all of you coming and joining, and more importantly, participating in this. I think the fact that this was a real conversation is just so incredibly meaningful for us at the Times, and hopefully for all of you. And let me actually kick it to Adam, because you had something you wanted to end with.
Just a quick thing to leave you with. First of all, memo to self, don't follow J.J. Abrams. So I've interviewed more than 400 leaders. Every time I interview them, I always ask them, how do you hire? What questions do you ask? And I've heard some great ones over the years. I don't need to tell you, but if you hire, you have to be a master psychologist, right? To try and find out in this artificial 30-minute conversation of a job interview what somebody is really like. Everybody is coached, they're scripted, they're trained, they know all the right answers. My biggest weakness is I care too much, right? You have heard it all before. As one CEO said, it just starts sounding like elevator music after a while. So I've always been intrigued about this notion of what I call bank shot questions, which is how do you people present this polished facade in a job interview. So what questions do you ask, can you ask, to get around that facade to find out what people are really like. So just as we're wrapping up, I thought I'd share with you some of my 8 of my favorites. These are also great questions around the sort of third bottle of wine in a dinner party. They're a lot of fun. So the first one is, what is your natural strength? This has nothing to do with your title or what you studied in college. What is your natural strength? Another way to think about this is, or ask this question is, what is your superhero power? What is your ninja skill? What are you in the top 5% in the world at? Because everybody is in the top 5% in the world at something. What about this one? What is the biggest misperception that people have about you? Just think about how you would answer this. The biggest misperception that people have about you. That's the setup, right? The punchline is, after somebody answers that question, you say, well, what's the difference between perception and misperception? Because it doesn't matter how people misperceive you. Perception is reality, so that's the only thing that counts. On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you? Right? There's a little algorithm trick. The lower your answer, the weirder you in fact are. If time, money, and talent were not part of the equation, what would you do? Literally could do anything. When you're not at work, what do you do 2 standard deviations better than anyone else? Have you ever heard that expression, how you do anything is how you do everything? The little things in your life, it speaks a lot about just sort of how you are as a person, so I love that question. How would you describe who you are in the core of your DNA in one word? You could only have one word. I always imagine somebody applying for a job and getting asked that question and they answer, unemployed. Okay, so this next one's a little heavy. What qualities of your parents do you like the most and the least? Right? Because that cuts a whole level deeper, because most of it's like, you're more like your mother or your father. This is like create the quadrant. Mother, father, qualities you like the most, you like the least. It's a great question because we can't escape our parents, right? We either do stuff because to be like them or stuff that we don't like about them. It's a great question. There's an entire industry built around this question. It's called therapy. Okay, so the last one, it's a 2-parter. The first one is, if there were no humans on the planet, only animals, what animal would you be? Right? The second part of the question is the most important part, which is, and why? It's not just enough to say the animal, it's all about the why. I've run competitions in groups about this question, and the winner in one case, they said their animal was a rat. But their answer was just so compelling and so well thought out. Again, just sort of wonderful drunken dinner party question.
So your assignment tonight, we're going to have cocktails out on the porch, is to ask each other these questions. What animal are you? If you're a rat, why are you a rat? I just want to say thank you to the team that makes this conference and all our conferences possible. Dorothea Harry, who's my partner in making these conferences come alive. Gwen Philbrook, who oversaw all of the logistics today. The entire NYT Live team who makes this vision become real. And most importantly, all of you and our speakers for coming and participating. We would love to see you next year. We're going to be doing this again. We welcome you back. All the videos from today are going to be posted on the New Work Summit website tomorrow. We hope you had a great time. Please join us for a cocktail, and we'll see you next year, hopefully with lots of new lessons about how you implemented what you learned. Thank you so much.